today's the day. Today is the start of the 2024 deer season, and I'm excited. Season already opened here in Texas, but I've been sick the last 2 days, so I wasn't able to go hunt. But we're off. We're headed out of state for 4 days, 5 days, including the travel day, 4 days of hunting. We're meeting Paul up at camp this evening. He's got a big buck on camera that's pretty consistent, and I think he's going to end up getting a shot at him, at least seeing him sometime this trip. I, on the other hand, don't know what I'm going to hunt, where I'm going to hunt. I've never hunted here opening day. I always hunt here later in October through January. So I did have a bunch of bucks on camera last year at a spot that I want to hunt tomorrow evening. So hopefully they kind of go back to that October pattern, and I can get in there tomorrow evening and hunt them unpressured. There were two giants, one real old 8-point, and then a different big 8-point with two kickers and split brow, just a big buck. Well, we're about 2 hours behind schedule. We had some technical difficulties with our camera, so we had to stop at the last major town, take care of it, which set us back about 2 hours. Paul is already at the property scouting, said it looks good. He talked to a guy that owns a RV park right next to it, and the guy told us to just go sleep at his house. So we're gonna be sleeping at his property. He was gracious enough to let us do that. And funny enough, he used to hunt this piece of public and has a bunch of big deer from it that he's going to show us. So it's kind of encouraging that there's been big deer killed off this place in the past.
Day before season, just doing some scouting on a new piece we haven't walked on yet. It's high 90s, but we're seeing deer, seeing some sign. We're gonna figure these deer out. I mean, come on.
What'd you get us into?
Got us a B&B.
How'd you come across this?
You see numbers on the side of the road, you just gotta call them. Start talking.
And you found some deer.
Yeah, he had an RV park just down the road with a number on it. Called him, got the talking. He's like, come stay in the driveway. Give
And
me
we're
some tips.
a mile from public land.
Yeah, public land's right over there.
With some deer on it.
Yeah.
We're gonna get set up and get sleep. What time are you waking up?
Oh, I don't know, we gotta plan that.
Like 4?
Probably like 4, maybe earlier.
Well, we gotta find where we're hunting tomorrow morning.
Exactly.
Well, let's get set up and get hunting. It's hunting season.
Let's hunt.
All right, packed up, 6 hours. Time to wake up and we'll go hunting. What do you think?
I think it should be fun. We got
Decent weather in the morning.
We got good weather tomorrow.
Yeah, 55 in the morning, high 78, and we got deer on the ground to go hunt, and we can kill.
Let's go kill.
See you in the morning.
Morning.
Morning. It's coffee time.
How you doing?
Tired,
Yeah.
but the wind's blowing,
Yeah.
so that'll wake you up.
How'd you sleep?
I woke up probably 2 or 3 times. I don't know if that was me being uncomfortable or the anticipation of the season, but I didn't sleep well.
No. Season is here.
Now it's time to make some coffee. Any predictions for today?
No, I don't want to jinx myself. hopefully we get an arrow and something. I'll shoot a doe.
I'll shoot a doe.
I'll bring
The
that
first
doe.
doe I see.
Yeah.
So we got the big coolers out. Fill it up with ice.
Yep. It's gonna be really hard not to send an arrow through the first doe that walks out.
Well, this evening, I think we're both pretty excited about. Did that cow keep showing up on your camera?
Not last night.
Well, maybe it went away.
Yeah. Hopefully we start getting some bugs.
So about right here, I mean, we need to kind of start going up that tree line because the road runs out. Or we can walk the creek up.
No, this part right here is super marshy.
Okay.
That's probably the marshiest part.
Well, that's good then.
Let's
I'm gonna walk up to here and then cut over.
yeah, I mean, let's just find somewhere to sit over here.
Well, I wanted to sit here, yeah.
Okay, we can just get different shooting lanes and try to catch them coming.
You're talking about the same spot, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But how do you want to get there? Because we have a northwest. Can we get through the creek and walk this?
We're not trying to walk through any of this. So look, we can cross where my tracks are. Fine. You go under or over?
Probably under. You want to take the path off? I'd take the back off. You're catching. Here. I'm trying. I got 2 bows. You're good to go. Oh, lower. I mean, you can go sit up there.
Yeah, I think I'll do that.
And I can go sit back over there where I was looking at.
Yeah. Yeah, deal.
Alright, good luck.
Peace.
Finally got set up. Paul and I walked in together thinking we might sit together and then end up splitting because he wanted to go down the creek a little further. But I'm in a real tight spot. Wherever these deer come from, I'm going to have to be ready with the bow because it's either going to be a 5-yard shot or a 12-yard shot, and I won't be able to see them until they're in a gap. So we have about 45 minutes till daylight. There is some poop, some trails that come right out in front of me along this creek. The wind's blowing back away from the creek, but sometimes it's paralleling it, so I don't know what's going to happen. We're only 2 sticks high. The tree I picked ended up being dead. So aside from that, it wasn't a bad first setup of the season, but we're going to sit tight, probably hunt until 9 or 10, see what happens this morning. Well, we're hunting. It's officially legal light. Paul had a deer come by before daylight and smell his stick and blow out, so it's a good sign. Maybe she'll come back. Sounds like I've got cows moving in on me, but if they don't, I feel pretty good. We've got a few trails that cut across this creek and alongside it with some deer poop. And we've got a wheat field and a milo field to our west. It's the coolest morning we've had in a while, so I think they're going to be out and about this morning. So I won't be too discouraged if I don't see movement early. But we're going to sit tight, probably hunt till 9:30 and go scout for a place this evening. We just had 3 turkey come by
shot him because I got a tag for him. But they ended up staying on the east tree line and working south of me. So, it was exciting though. We saw something. But maybe now the deer start funneling in here too. Well, that's going to do it for this morning. It's about 9:15, so we're going to go ahead and get down. We're going to go get some breakfast, do some scouting, and go hunt this evening. Saw 3 turkey. Paul saw the same 3 turkey, and other than that, we didn't see any deer. So, not a bad start to the season. It's nice to be back in a tree. So, get back at it this evening.
This is that trail that we were hunting. It intersects with this trail here, and there's 2 crossings across this creek. No deer this morning. We're headed back to the truck. We're gonna meet Paul. He's already walking back there right now. So we're gonna get on our way and get a plan ready for this evening. Hopefully go scout, get some breakfast, see some deer this evening.
Good morning. Saw those turkey.
Yeah, I wish I could have shot that.
I was at full draw, dude, 30 yards, but they were scooting. I'm like 50-50 chance I hit them. I didn't want to lose an arrow.
That one had a long beard.
Yeah, it was dragging.
What, 8-9 inches?
Probably, dude. That thing was big.
I think
Saw 3, right?
Yeah, 2 hens. I think I may have moved a little quick, so I saw them. They were coming down, and then they just stopped and turned. And
They were scared when they were walking by me. They were just walking
Yeah.
along. I got them on video though.
I did too. But no deer.
Well,
Just the one before dark. No deer.
dude,
for me.
right below my stand, I was like head down. It was super dark, and then I heard like a crunching noise almost. I'm looking around, I can't see anything. A few seconds later, like doe runs out from right under my stand. Like she was smelling my stick, and I guess she smelt me, or my stick, and got scared and started blowing.
That's funny. Well, let's go get some breakfast and coffee. How's that sound? I have a cook space.
Dude.
We're set, man.
Yeah. Dude, I might just lay my. Oh, I didn't bring it. So this is perfect for a cod.
I brought mine. Hey. Skin deer. It's got a drain. You got running water right here.
Oh, I see. Dude. Oh my god.
Yeah, did you see a stand?
Yeah. We're set.
It's a pretty view too. I wish we would have found this 4 years ago, but I'm glad we found it now.
Could you imagine, dude?
Good luck.
Thank you.
Find some deer.
Yeah, gonna go scout, look at some historically good spots, and maybe put out a camera or 2, just look for some sign, and then go hunt the place I've been. I came up here to hunt, so.
Good deal. Go kill him. I'm still packing up the rest of my stuff, but I will be shortly following him. And I'm also going to go scout a few properties that I've hunted in the past, and then go hunt the property that I came here to hunt, because it's going to be the only evening that we have a north wind to be able to get into these properties. So drive around, see what we can find. We have some decent history with this property. I killed my biggest buck out here on this exact property, but the only difference is back in 2020 the neighbors planted wheat, and I caught them all going from bed to feed, and now the neighbor doesn't plant wheat anymore. So the deer aren't on this property as much as they used to be, but I do think they still use it. I had a few deer on camera last year, but the camera messed up, so I don't know exactly how many deer, didn't make it on camera. But this year we got a black gate, and I know it's going to take pictures. So hopefully we can get some more deer on camera than we did last year out here, and hopefully the pressure can stay off so that we can get in here and hunt it before everyone else does. But we're gonna go back here to this clump of trees and see if we can find some sign to put this camera over. Some tracks. Not seeing a whole lot of poop or other deer sign. All I'm really seeing are the random track. You do have kind of a swampy area back in here. That's where I had a camera last year, and I had some deer on camera, but not a lot. But the camera also malfunctioned, so there is that. And just because deer don't show up on camera doesn't mean they're not there. I like to find a big community scrape pop up, I can tell you that. There's some deer tracks right here. So again, there's some sign, but I don't think it's going to be enough for me to put a camera out. At least not that I've found yet. I don't see human sign, so that's good. I also do think that this little area could be pretty good during the rut. I got onto a buck that was locked down with a doe. Well, here's some rubs right here, right as I'm talking. One. It's dry, but it definitely is from this year. Same with that. So somewhere in here is going to be more deer sign. Anyways, what I was saying is, a few years ago I got onto a really big buck locked down with a doe about 800 yards to the east. Here's some buck poop, or some deer poop. I don't know if it's buck or doe, but it is poop. My only thing is, if the camera goes in here, it's gonna just be false trigger central. And I don't know if I want to deal with that. But it's where the sign is. Starting to look better as we get to the outskirts of this stuff. So we're just gonna keep looking around and see what we can find. See if we can find some more rubs. Some more old deer poop. More. Some more rubs over here. There's actually a handful of rubs along this edge of this field. That goes out into what I believe is bedding. So that's a good sign. It's about as fresh as it gets right there. And we're in just kind of a road on the outside of the trees. So now I really don't know where to put the camera. But I think I have an idea. There's something big walking around here. Let's see if we can find him. See what he is. There's another fresh pile right here. Right next to this other one.
One's right there. So, put the camera where the sign is, even though it doesn't necessarily make a whole lot of sense. But the sign's there, so the camera's gonna go here. Because there's a handful of older stuff around it too. But that's from this morning. There were flies on it when I walked up. So I don't know where they're going, I don't know where they're coming from. But I know where they took a poop. So yeah, find out. She's rocking and rolling. We're gonna get on to the next spot and scout. Non-cell. Already getting in the tracks. Fence is right there. This spot in the past has had a lot of deer in it. The only thing is it's pretty hard to hunt, so we're gonna try to pick out a tree while we're here too. But there are a decent amount of tracks already. This may end up being a game time decision to come hunt here one of these days this trip. So a lot of good green growth in here too that they can browse on before they go out to the wheat field or on their way out of the wheat field to go back to bed, which is typically what happens here, is they hit it after they feed in the mornings to go back to bed. All right, putting one last camera out before we go sit this evening. It is 3 o'clock, legal ends at 7:45, so I think if we can get set up by 5 o'clock, we'll be good. Well, there's some tracks here, so that's a good sign. Again, I don't know how old they are, so I don't know the last time it rained, but I'm sure the deer are in here. I'd be surprised if they weren't. So, let the camera do its job and come back in November. We had a camera here last year that didn't have service. It was on this tree. So we're gonna put a black gate up and see if this one gets service. They claim it gets service when other cameras won't. So we'll see if that's true. But last October I had a lot of deer come through here. So fingers crossed if they're doing the same thing that they did last year. I think we got a decent chance tonight. Let's get this camera up and go get in a tree. This was going to be an easy climb. I had this tree in my head, and in my head it was the straightest, most beautiful tree to climb, where I could see a long ways. And then I got here, and that's not what it is. It's ant infested. There's limbs everywhere. I can't see a single thing until the deer get about 12 yards, pretty much just like we were this morning. The only thing I can really see is right in front of me. So if we get a shot off at one, even if one does come in, it's going to be a miracle. It unless they make a lot of noise and I can hear them coming. But there's some sign, not a ton, but some. I'm mainly hunting history right now, so we're gonna sit tight for the next 2 hours and see what happens. I made a lot of noise getting into this tree, so there's no telling if one will even come by, but we're still hopeful that we'll at least see something off in the distance, even though I can't see very far. We had a coyote come by at about 40 yards, going back to where I think the deer are bedded. So I'm not quite sure how that's going to affect the evening. I don't think it'll hurt it much, but there's a bunch of blue jays to the south that are firing off, so maybe the deer are getting up on their feet. We got about an hour and 15 minutes of daylight left. We still have high hopes. Well, that's going to do it for opening day. Big old goose egg. Didn't see a single deer. So we're going to get down, go to the truck, get some phone service, and hopefully Paul had a better evening than we did. So go back to camp, drink some adult beverages, and try to figure out what we're doing tomorrow. Because I don't know where I'm going to hunt in the morning. I know Paul knows, but I have no clue. So see y'all back at camp.
Well, how was opening day?
Had one deer below me, about 15 minutes for a legal white, and that was it.
You think you're gonna see something tomorrow?
Yeah, it's gonna be cooler. They like to move there when it's cool. We got a south wind. Sets up perfect, hunting from the ground. I'm just gonna tuck into a cedar tree and see what happens. I'm not holding out for anything though. I'll shoot a doe. If doe walks out in front of me, she's dead.
A little change of game plans following tomorrow.
Yeah, we're gonna go to a different county. Not really. I mean, we came up here to mainly scout, put out cameras, and hunt while we're here. But we'll go to a new county tomorrow. Do the same thing. Cover some ground. Put out some cameras and hunt. So it's all shaping up for when this weather gets nice and the deer start moving. We'll be set up. You know, we'll have good cameras. We'll have some spots picked out. Hopefully it works out well for us.
Well, that's it for day one, opening day 2024. But it wasn't all bad. We had some productivity, put some cameras out, setting ourselves up for November when we come back. Tomorrow morning I'm hunting where I found all that fresh poop. Hopefully get to see something. I have to walk through a field, which hopefully they're not in. I think they're feeding to the west at night and they're bedding to the east, so I should be right in between them. So hopefully we get eyes on something in the morning, and then we're moving counties. Pretty much do the same thing we did the last day and a half here. So that's it for this episode. Thank y'all for watching.